Yo, 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 what's up? This is John from J Innovation Garage in the Peach Capital of the state, baby. All right, boys and girls. Um, got the hood scoop and the wing painted. Um, go out here and we'll look at it right quick. I don't have much memory left on my phone. I'll have to get it. So I'll show you. Um, but there's that. It's got a little bit of trash in it, but that ain't nothing major. I'm not really over it. Shut up, stupid. Shut up. I'm not overly concerned with that. That's a Luma gun, and this is why I'm not overly concerned with it, because I realized that I didn't have enough semi-gloss clear to do it right. So, um, you're gonna get trash and stuff. There's no paint job out there that's perfect. Anybody out there says they got a flawless paint job, they're lying to you. They're lying. They're manipulating the camera. They're just telling lies. They're lying to you, and I'll call it to them. You can tell them JG Innovation Garage from the Peach Capital said they're full of shit as a Christmas turkey. I mean, I'm just telling you, there's nothing that's flawless. Right off the gun, it's slicker and slick. I don't need no wet sand and buffing. Okay, dog, let me see it in 2 weeks and then call me back. So this is a semi-gloss clear, and I thought I had another one of these, and you can only buy these in quarts, and I thought I had another quart, but I did not. So since I didn't have enough clear, I didn't want to leave it open. And he's like, well, you're going to have to sand it anyway. Yeah, but I'd rather go ahead and lock it down. So I locked it down with 2021, and I used a straight 9700 black, and I used 95 reducer, and I'll let it set for a little bit. I'm gonna pull it back outside. I set it outside after an hour in the booth, and I'll let it sit out in the sun for about 30 minutes, and then I'll put it back in the shop or back in the paint booth, and I'll turn on the fans and pull some airflow around it. I used the Luma guns. Right? If you want to use those, anything from Luma, the checkout code is Jeremy7. And also, you don't get too wrapped on these guys. They're saying straight off the gun, it's slick. I don't need no cut and buff. Let me see it in 2 weeks, then come back and see me. Don't get too wrapped up and get all up in your feelings with people online. I was like that when I started. It's like, oh man, don't get wrapped up in it, because when you use a high solid like 5700, you put 4 or 5 coats on that bad boy, yeah, you can make it look super slick today. But 30 days from now, when all that solvents come out and it orange peels out and you got texture, you're going to have texture. That's why you cut and buff it. Now, if you're doing collision work, there's completely different types of clear. There's clear that's not high solids that when they gas off, they are okay. I think Deltron 2000, I think, or 4000, somewhere around in there. You got Shopline 6700, which is European clear. I mean, it's a super solid, but I mean, it'll lay down super slick. And then you got the 6800, which is the speed clear. Don't get overly concerned with guys online, when they say, oh, it's right off the gun, like Jeff said from PPG, super, 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 super talented, super, super smart guy, Jeff Maceton. I'm sorry I butchered your name, buddy, but him and Charlie Hutton, I mean, they the one I learned my stuff from. So don't get overly invested in people online going, oh, straight off the gun, I don't need to cut and buff it. Crap, man. Quit lying to these guys, man. Yeah, it looks good today, but let me see what it looks like next week. I can go out here and lay it slick as all you can slick it out. But I guarantee you in 2 weeks, it's not going to be that slick, because once everything gasses out, it's going to shrink back. It's going to shrink back. So stop. Just stop. And then I see some guys online. Let me show you how to get the orange peel out of your thing. You got to bump your air pressure way up, and you can, well, yes and no, because you're going to get it in small little, once you bust it up in the small, think about going down the road and you got big raindrops. You don't have to use your wipers. But if it's a misty rain, you got to use your wipers. Well, think about that when you bust up clear and paint in the small molecules. It's in the PP training book. If you ever take PPG training classes, it's in the book. It shows you about that, different water droplets, how to break stuff up. Yes, you can over atomize stuff to a point where it's hurting you, not helping you, right? Like if you're using a Wada Supernova, the air pressure set on a Wada Supernova is going to be different from a SATA 5000 or a 5500. Also, if you're going to use these Luma guns, checkout code is Jeremy7. They're completely different. They don't have to have a lot of air pressure. They're completely different, and I like them. It's a learning curve for me because I'm used to Wadas and SATAs, but I got reviews on those too. So I've been using the fire out of those ever since I got some. So they're super, super good and super, super easy and super, super light. But my whole thing is, don't get over concerned with folks out there making you feel belittled because they go, oh, that's straight off the gun. Hey, look, not everybody can afford $100,000 paint booth. I've seen some paint jobs painted in the driveway with wet gravel look better than some jobs painted. It's the percentage. Look, that hood scoop out there, it's got a little bit of trash in it. It's not really trash, it's lint from static because it's hot, the humidity, and it's the nature of the beast, right? I didn't wet the floor down this morning because I knew I was going to go back over it and hit it with 800 because I knew I didn't have enough of this clear here. So I kind of just went on with it. Somebody says, ain't that a flow coat? No, I'm not flow coating it. I'm recoating it with this semi-gloss clear because I wanted to lock it down before it got here because I didn't want anything to get on the paint and mess the paint up. So once you lock it down with clear, it's protected. So I'll buzz it down with 800 and then I re-clear it. It's all good, man. So I really appreciate you and everything. I appreciate everybody. Like I said, don't get overly invested in folks when they say, oh, it's straight off the gun. It's slick. Yeah, that right there, look. Hold on, let me show you. Look, that is straight off the gun. See that right there? That's straight off the gun. It's slick. But if I leave that 2021 clear on there, right? If I leave that 21 clear on there and I let it set for 3 or 4 weeks and it draws back and it shrinks, because it will, everything shrinks. Some shrink more than others. Some shrink less than others. Everything shrinks. It's the chemical process of it. It's not going to be that flat. It's just not. So don't get overly invested in folks when they tell you something. And I'm trying out these right here. I don't know what these are. I don't even know what brand they are. They were 2 for $5. They gone already. Remember what I said, boys and girls? If you stuck with me this long, I appreciate you. It is hot. I'm fixing to go get me some ice cream. It is 94 degrees. And y'all have a blessed weekend. Remember what I said, don't worry about the man up the road or down the road. Sweep off your own front porch while sweeping off anybody else's. Put God first, let loose and drag. Peace, sun, chin, grace, and mount.